Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining today's webinar, Dealing with Review Inaccuracies, Strategies to Protect Your Practice. In today's world, online reviews can break a practice, and it's crucial to know how to manage them effectively. So let's dive into why this topic is so important. But before we actually do, just to let everyone know, I will be answering questions at the end of the presentation. Feel free to submit them at time through the Q&A, and even if you do need to leave early, just send your questions and we'll follow up with answers after the webinar. But with that out of the way, let me introduce myself. My name is Oliver Blanco, and I'll be today's speaker. I am a digital marketing and account manager here at Repugen, which is a healthcare reputation management software dedicated to helping healthcare providers and practices improve their online reviews and patient acquisition, retention, and engagement. As for today's agenda, this is what we'll cover today. First, we'll define review inaccuracies, the different kinds of inaccuracies, and explore how they can harm your practice. Then we'll discuss the legal options and platform policies for dealing with reviews, followed by the best practices for responding to them in a professional manner. Then finally, we'll cover long-term strategies for your practice or for protecting your practice rather. And as mentioned before, there will be time at the end of the presentation for some Q&A. Now, let's begin by looking at some key statistics at the role of online reviews in healthcare. First off is that 73% of patients evaluate reviews before choosing a healthcare provider, according to our 2025 patient reviews survey. This statistic emphasizes just how much of an impact online reviews can have in shaping a potential patient's decision to choose your practice. The first impression many patients have is through reviews, making it critical to managing your online reputation effectively. Furthermore, 50% of consumers trust reviews as much as personal recommendations from family and friends. This comes from a Bright Local 2024 survey, which shows that reviews are trusted to the same degree as word of mouth referrals. As seen in the chart to the right, 73% of people consider online reviews when selecting a healthcare provider, which again just highlights the fact that reviews have a direct impact on attracting or losing patients. So, in today's digital landscape, practice presence is not optional, it's basically a necessity. Your online reputation influences potential patients' decisions, so it's crucial to stay proactive and engaged with your reviews. Now, let's dive into what we mean by review inaccuracies. Review inaccuracies can take several forms, but they all have one thing in common. They misrepresent your practice in some way, whether intentionally or unintentionally. First off, there's things like misinformation. Misinformation refers to incorrect details that distort the facts about your practice. This could be as simple as a patient incorrectly stating details about a service or treatment that they supposedly received at your practice. Then there are also fake claims. Uh, Fake claims are reviews that deliberately provide false or misleading information about your practice, often for malicious purposes. There's also mistaken identity, which happens when a review is meant for another provider or healthcare clinic, but is mistakenly left on your practice's profile page. Then there are also exaggerated incidents. Those are when a patient might exaggerate their experience, making the situation just sound worse than it really is. This could be about, say, wait times, service quality, or just even how they were supposedly treated. And so let's break these down a little bit further. So unfair reviews versus untrue reviews. Unfair reviews may have some basis in truth, but are often just one-sided or overly critical. Untrue reviews, on the other hand, just contain entirely inaccurate information that doesn't reflect what actually happened. And then there are intentional versus accidental inaccuracies. Some inaccuracies are intentional, like those fake reviews, or maybe a competitor just actively trying to sabotage your online reviews. But while others are accidental, such as uh, a patient mistakenly just leaving a review for the wrong place again. And then here are a couple of examples. So in number one, a patient leaves a negative review for a clinic located across town, attributing their experience to your practice on accident. This is an example of a mistaken identity issue. There is also another example where a review could state, I was overcharged for services, when in reality, the patient's insurance was responsible for covering part of the cost. So this is just an example of misinformation about billing. But by recognizing these inaccuracies, it's just the first step to being able to address them and protect your own online reputation. And so now let's look at some specific types of harmful, inaccurate reviews that can damage your practice's reputation. So again, here's an example of mistaken identity. So if it's for a wrong provider or location. There are fake competitor reviews, so malicious reviews from competitors again. Those exaggerated claims, so overstated malpractice or neglect, uh, inaccurate billing, just like what I mentioned in the previous slide. Some patients might just say a little bit more or exaggerate their billing instances. And then there are also fake reviews that can be posted with the intent to sabotage or even manipulate your ratings. So for this, you'd want to look at some generic language or extreme ratings such as only 1 stars or 5 stars, or unusual posting times. So maybe like late at night or on days that you're not even servicing people. And here's a little fun fact. So 10.7% of Google reviews are actually fake, often usually times or posted for financial gain or sabotage. So inaccurate reviews like these, if left unchecked, can just severely damage your online reputation. And so again, that's why you do need to identify them quickly so that you can address them appropriately. And now let's quickly talk about the real world impact that inaccurate reviews can have on your practice. So, first off, is called trust erosion. Negative or inaccurate reviews can significantly reduce patient trust. So, when a potential patient sees a bad review, it can deter them away from scheduling an appointment with you. Trust is just everything in healthcare, and one negative review can make patients question whether they should choose you over others. Next is that they can decline, you can see a decline in new patient appointments. So a single inaccurate review can cause a ripple effect. It can scare off those dozens of potential patients who are just browsing for an online healthcare provider. And just remember, most patients turn to online reviews, like that stat I shared at the beginning of the presentation, where 73% of people check online reviews for a healthcare provider. And so seeing a negative review can just be enough to turn them away. And then overall, there is also just reputation damage. So it's not just a minor setback, it can have another ripple effect across multiple platforms. Your ranking on Google, Yelp, and health grades, and even other healthcare review sites could take a hit, leading to reduced visibility for your practice online. So, inaccurate reviews that go unresolved can impact your online presence, causing damage to your online reputation. And then overall, it's just staff morale and a mental toll. So negative reviews can also just infect your team. The emotional toll on the staff can be substantial, especially when reviews attack your practice's service or care. So it can just lower staff morale and in turn affect the performance and well-being of your team. But in conclusion, inaccurate reviews can have a far-reaching impact on both your practice's reputation and your team's morale. So that's why you do, again, want to address them as quickly and effectively to maintain that trust and protect your business as best as possible. Good side, there are some legal options or policies that help try to prevent things uh, like review inaccuracies. So platforms like Google, Yelp, and HealthGrades all have their own set of policies for in handling those inaccurate reviews. First off, Google's content policies. So Google allows you to flag reviews that violate its content policies, such as those fake reviews or for spam. If a review is misleading or inappropriate, you can report it for removal directly on their platform. Yelp also uses advanced algorithms to automatically filter suspicious reviews. So if you believe a review is inaccurate on your Yelp profile, you can manually report it again for review and possible removal. And then health grades and vitals, since they are under the same umbrella, uh, they both allow users to report misleading or harmful reviews. And if a review doesn't meet the platform's guidelines, you can also request it to be removed. And here's a little pro tip at the bottom. So, while legal action such as libel or standard can be an option, it's often costly and time consuming. So, legal cases can drag on for months, and there's no guarantee for a quick or favorable outcome. Therefore, addressing reviews directly through a platform just allows you for quicker resolutions. So, like Google, Yelp, and HealthGrades, they have their own policies, which just make them a lot more well equipped to handle disputes more effectively than possible legal channels that you might consider. So here's a little when and how to flag reviews quick guide. So again, each major platform has a simple process for flagging or reporting reviews that violate their policies. So you'll just want to alert a platform to potentially harmful or misleading content, just again to help protect your practice's reputation. You can follow the steps provided by Google, Yelp, and Facebook to flag those reviews directly on their platform. Uh, and then if you find yourself unsure of the process or needs personalized assistance, we can also help you navigate those steps in a more hands-on way. So feel free to reach out, contact us, and we'll help guide you through the process of managing and reporting those reviews on those platforms. And now you'll also want to respond to inaccurate reviews. It's just important or to follow the best practices to protect your reputation and manage the situation effectively. Basically, you do want to do this because while online review sites are uh, addressing your complaint to those inaccurate reviews that you possibly flag for removal, the review is still going to be appearing online. So, in the meantime, you will want to respond to those inaccurate reviews to show that you are under control of the situation and you are demonstrating a professional and HIPAA compliant uh, tone or vision of your practice. So, here are some of the best practices to respond to those inaccurate reviews. First off, you will want to stay calm and professional, so avoid just any emotional responses and always remain factual in your reply. You'll also want to just acknowledge the issue. So, even if the review is inaccurate, you just want to show some empathy for the reviewer's experience. Again, just to show that you are under control of the situation. Also, you will want to avoid breaking any HIPAA policies. So, never disclose any private patient information in your responses. Uh, and you can offer a resolution though. So, move the conversation offline. So, such as by offering a phone or email for them to contact you. That way, it leaves the ball in their court and kind of shows prospective patients that you are under control of the situation again. And then you will want to do this within a timely manner. So respond within 24 to 48 hours to show that you care and are actively addressing patient concerns. And then just try to use positive language to keep the tone constructive, positive, and professional again to show everyone online that you are under control of the situation. And so to the right of the screen, you can see a couple of examples. So for the first one, this one says the doctor barely paid any attention to me. What kind of optometry is this? This review is likely a mistaken identity situation where the patient accidentally left a review for the wrong practice, as the individual, in this case, left the review at a dermatology practice rather than an optometrist or pediatric, sorry. So as you can see in the response, uh, there the person had said, was this review meant for us? As we are a pediatric practice, we think you might have us confused with another place. Please contact us at so and so phone number so that we can sort this out. And then in the meantime, as well, you'll want to flag or report the review so that the site can review it for possible removal. But basically, by following these best practices, you not only correct the inaccuracy, but also show your professionalism in managing reviews, which builds trust with prospective patients. And so, additionally, to protect your practice reputation, a proactive approach to managing reviews is just overall essential. Let's look at some of those key strategies. First off is early identification. So you'll want to set up some notifications to help monitor any new online reviews that you get. By being notified as soon as possible whenever a review is posted, you can spot any negative ones that might come in a lot earlier than usual and then address them before they escalate further. Then there are a lot of new AI powered tools out there. So you'll want to leverage automated tools to quickly create and send professional replies to those inaccurate reviews. This helps you respond efficiently while maintaining a high level of professionalism. You'll also want to implement some sort of proactive strategy. So encourage positive feedback by actively requesting reviews from your happy patients. Consistently engaging with those patients and maintaining a strong online presence can help buffer against any inaccurate or negative reviews. So, for example, the more positive reviews that you have, any potential patient looking at your review profile might see, that one negative review, but can pit it against all of your hundreds of other positive reviews and say that, okay, maybe that negative one is an outlier. Let me trust all of the positive ones since there are so many more. So, fourth, we do have staff training. So, just make sure your team is properly trained to handle reviews professionally and in line with your practice's policies. So, when everyone does understand how to respond to feedback correctly, it just ensures consistency and professionalism across the board. And then is going to come back to this, but you'll want to use any dispute tools. So again, Google, Yelp, Health Grades, and Vitals, any uh, any platform at all, you'll just want to use their tools to flag and report inaccurate reviews so that the itself can resolve it as uh, as well as possible on their end. And so by implementing these proactive strategies, you'll be better equipped to protect your reputation and build stronger relationships with your patients. And here's another way of how you can build that long-term protection. So, first off is proactive review generation. So again, you'll want to encourage your happy patients to leave those positive online reviews. And so actively reaching out to them would help create that buffer. You can use something like automated patient surveys as well. So use a post-visit survey as it allows you to gather patient feedback before it turns into a public review. This helps you identify and resolve issues quickly, preventing negative reviews from even being posted publicly. So here's an example of of what we do here at Repigen on the right-hand side. This is an example of our survey uh, where a patient provides feedback and then the practice can resolve concerns early before they do a negative public review. So for example, if someone rated a 2 on the survey above, and then they left any feedback where in this example says the doctor was very rude and very long. Once they press submit, would thank them for their feedback, say some sort of sorry message, and then your team would be notified of that internal survey feedback so that you can reach out to them at your convenience and address the situation. Thirdly is monitor and respond quickly. So again, you'll want to set up alerts to monitor reviews across all of your online platforms, just so that you can ensure that you are responding within that 24 to 48-hour window. A fast response again just shows that you care patient feedback and helps prevent negative reviews from escalating. And then you'll want to implement some sort of reputation building strategy. So develop a long-term strategy that should include consistent engagement with your patients on ongoing management of your online reputation. Keeping your reputation strong just requires continuous effort. So regularly engaging with your online reviews and feedback to just maintain your positive visibility. And so, as we've discussed throughout this webinar, proactive management of your online reputation is just key to protecting and enhancing your practice's image. Let's just take a look at some of the case studies that we do have here at Repugen. First off is a case study with one of our clients, Memorial Care Medical Group. Memorial Care implemented a comprehensive reputation management that included, again, just encouraging reviews, addressing negative feedback quickly, and using tools to monitor and flag inaccurate reviews. As a result, they experienced about a 1,600% growth in patient reviews, as well as a 23% star rating growth as well. And then this number of online reviews specifically grew 2,700 to over 48,000. And then their star rating increased from a 3.9 star rating to a 4.8. This improvement just highlights the power of a proactive review management strategy. So, by them consistently engaging with patients and addressing any concerns as well before they turned into public reviews, Memorial Care was able to build trust, enhance their patient satisfaction, and significantly improve their online reputation. And so now that as we are wrapping up at the end, here are 5 steps that you can take away this week to start improving your online reputation. First off, you'll want to audit your online profiles or your online listings. You'll want to ensure that they are appearing on major platforms such as Google, Yelp, or Health Grades, and make sure that they are accurate and up to date. This is crucial as any inaccurate information can affect how potential patients find and perceive your practice. Then again, you'll want to flag any inaccurate reviews. So you can use a tool like our tool here at Repugen called RepuTally or anything else out there to just scan your online reputation and identify any inaccurate or harmful reviews. These tools can help you spot problems early and address them before they escalate. Um, Here's an example of RepuTally on the right-hand side, which just gives you an overview of your online reputation, uh, and then highlights areas where you might need to improve uh, on the right-hand side as well. And then you'll want to, for step number 3, you'll want to update review response SOPs, improve how your team handles reviews and patient feedback. This could involve creating clear guidelines on how to respond to both positive and negative reviews in a timely and professional manner. And then likewise, you'll want to train your staff to ensure that they are well equipped with these best practices for managing reviews and handling patient feedback. And then to basically streamline the process, you can consider using any online reputation management tools like Repugen or anything else to make it just a whole lot easier for your team to manage any inaccurate reviews and your online reputation in general. And now that is officially the end of the webinar. So uh, here are just some of those key takeaways. Uh, First off is that inaccurate reviews can harm your reputation. Uh, Even one bad review can erode patient trust and affect your patient's or your practice's reputation. So, uh, very crucial to address inaccuracy very swiftly. Number 2, we went over proactive management prevents issues. So, regular monitoring helps catch inaccuracies early. You'll want to use some tools to identify any gaps in your online reputation. And then be sure to respond to any reviews within that 24 to 48-hour window by setting up alerts on those online review profiles. As the quicker that you address an issue, the less impact it will actually have. And you'll want to make sure that you are set up to respond to any reviews in a professional manner. Make sure that your team is trained on these best practices, and then possibly moving forward the future, automate some surveys to drive positive feedback to combat those negative reviews, implement a long-term strategy, so that you can improve your online reputation. If you are going to consider any legal actions against any online reviews, consider using that as a last resort, as it is a lot quicker to flag and address the reviews online first by following any online review platform's policies. And then overall, again, just use any reputation management tools online to just improve your overall practice. So now that we are at the end of the presentation, let us go over some of the Q&A. All right, so I did get a few questions. So first off, we did get a question that says, if a flagged review isn't removed by the platform, what should I do next? And so that is a very good question. If a platform like Google or Yelp denies your removal, your next step should be again to publicly respond in a professional and factual manner so future readers can see your side of the story. So, for example, you can say something like, "Thank you for reaching out. If it was a mistaken identity, you can say, was this practice meant for, or was this review meant for us? Uh, I'd like to clear things up. Please contact me at so and so phone number, and I'd be happy to clear up any confusion." Additionally, you can consider escalating the issue through a formal appeal process, such as like on Google, and reach out to the platform directly, maybe considering through email or by contacting their support centers. Consider documenting the situation internally and just continue to monitor for similar issues. I did get another question that said, how can I effectively encourage more positive reviews without violating platform guidelines or appearing desperate? So, another good question. So, you'll want to focus on timing and personalization. So, ask for reviews shortly after a positive visit through text, email, or even in person, and just make it easy for patients to leave an online review. You'll want to say just after you know that a happy patient had a good appointment, ask them to leave a review through a QR code and or just send them an email or text survey immediately after. You can also, another good tip is to explain how their feedback helps your practice grow and improves their care for others, as well as a lot of people like to help others that were in their situations. All right, another question someone asked, are there any risks to using AI generated responses for patient reviews, and how do I ensure that they remain compliant? And that is another very good question since AI is basically taking over the world. Uh, AI tools also just save time, but they can, sometimes produce tone deaf or non-compliant responses if not reviewed. So you'll want to make sure that you are proofreading those AI generated replies to ensure that they avoid uh, mentioning any PHI. Uh, and you'll also want to make sure that they do maintain some sort of human tone within the response and just reflect your overall brand image. So you'll want to train your staff that are using AI to treat it as a drafting assistant, not as a final responder to those online reviews. All right, we got another one. What's the best way to train staff on responding to reviews without overwhelming them or taking up too much time? So, one way you can is by developing a simple standard operating procedure or SOP with just example templates for common review scenarios. You'll want to offer maybe like a quick 15, 30-minute training session or during any regular staff meetings that you have and assign one or two staff members to oversee review responses and then reinforce all of the best practices. So reinforce a professional tone, responding within that 24 to 48-hour window, and then just making sure that they are aware of the steps to take in addressing any more sensitive reviews. All right, and I think the last question for today, how do I decide which reviews to respond to and which ones to leave alone, especially if they seem exaggerated but not entirely false? So That's a good question. You want to prioritize responding to any review that could just influence your potential patient's trust, especially those negative ones, so that are misleading or emotionally charged language. So even if a review isn't factually wrong, a calm and empathetic response to that review just shows your professionalism board. But overall, you would want to respond to all of your reviews, even if it is the positive ones, just by with a quick thank you for your review or thanks for your visit, something of that sort. By just responding to all of your online reviews, it shows all of your prospective patients that you care about your patients' feedback, that you acknowledge them, and you are just trying to build up a positive community at your healthcare practice. And so that is going to be it for today's Q&A. So just to tell you a little bit about ourselves here at Repugen, we are a comprehensive reputation management platform that is designed to help healthcare practices like yours thrive in today's digital world. We offer a variety of services to help you improve and manage your online reviews, automate and track referrals, and a lot more, just helping you build a healthy online presence. So if you do want to learn more, feel free to contact us at info@repugen.com or visit our website at www.repugen.com to learn more, and then we can get in touch about how to help you with your online reputation. And if you do want to get in touch again, here is another contact information. You can also uh, reach out to us with a phone call at 866-246-7891. Thank you all again for your time today, and look forward to the next webinar.